I wanted to dispel some common myths about meditation for beginners or people with not a lot of experience to meditation. In my groups and my classes, this is one of the main things I always talk about. When people want to start meditating, they think that in order to be correctly meditating, that means you're not thinking, that the purpose of meditation is to not think or to stop thinking. And that is a total lie. What happens when you are a more experienced meditator is that the space between your thoughts gradually becomes longer and longer. But in the beginning, it's just constant stream of consciousness. It's very difficult to, you can't change that overnight. It takes meditation practice, which is why it's called practice. So, and a lot of people think if they're thinking during meditation, they're doing it wrong. That's not true. Also, that you can meditate wrong. Like, oh, I'm thinking, so I'm not doing this right, and I can't meditate. That's another common thing. People say, oh, I can't meditate. Everyone can meditate. Everyone already meditates. If you think about when you're really focused on something, drawing, writing, some kind of anything creative, taking photos, being really absorbed in something enjoyable, that's a form of meditation. So everyone can meditate. And there is no bad meditation. That's another thing that people think, oh, I couldn't stop thinking today in my meditation, so it was a waste of time and it was a bad meditation. All of these beliefs are not true. Every meditation is a good meditation. I love the analogy of thinking about meditation like going to the gym. When people start new in meditation, they think they meditate one time, they should be enlightened. Same as, okay, you go to the gym one time, you think you're going to have huge muscles. No. Both of those activities are the same. It takes practice, commitment, daily practice, because with meditation, we're retraining our mind. So when you think in meditation, you're not doing it wrong. Something else that I always like to say is the heart, it beats. The lungs breathe. The mind thinks. So it's just a natural function of the mind to think. And when we come to meditation trying to stop thinking, well, we can't stop our heart from beating. So for me, the way I explain it is the meditation practice is when you notice that you're thinking, in that moment of noticing that you're lost in thought, there is the awakening, there is the expansion, there is the practice. So what'll happen is you'll be lost in thought. You'll be totally identified with your thinking and consumed by thought, not knowing that you're thinking. And then at some point in the meditation, you'll think, oh, I'm thinking. That's the practice. When you realize it, and then when you bring your focus back to what's going on. Either if you're focusing on breathing, if you're listening to a guided meditation. So the practice is you're lost in thought. You become aware that you're lost in thought. In that moment of awareness, you say, oh, I'm thinking again. And then you bring yourself back to the practice over and over and over and over again. And what this does is it strengthens the muscle of awareness, of focus. But even more for me personally, what's really helped me is it's a practice of self-love and compassion, because I notice how I talk to myself when I react, when I remember. So, in the beginning it was like, oh, you're thinking again. Oh, you shouldn't thinking, like, oh, I'm not meditating. I can't stop thinking. Why does this keep happening? And I don't want to do this anymore. and just like an air of frustration, right? But over the years of practice now, what I notice is, because of course I still always think during meditation, just the space between that can get longer and longer between actual stream of consciousness thought, is that whenever I notice, oh, I'm thinking again, then I say, oh, awesome, you remembered. Just come back to this moment, love. Hey, welcome back. Some kind of kind words to myself. Sometimes I'll say like, hey, baby. And that's kind of like, oh, the refocusing moment. So doing that in the meditation, just doing that, no matter what else you're trying to accomplish, is a huge practice in loving yourself and shifting the way, our self-talk. So, every meditation is valuable. Even if you sit down and you get up and you're like, all I did was sit there and think, it still was a valuable practice. So there is no bad meditation. The purpose is not to stop thinking, but to change the relationship with thought whenever you notice it arising. And it's a great experience to bring self-love, more self-love to your life. It's a practice of learning to love yourself and self-compassion. So from that basis, you can apply these principles to any meditation you do. If it's just pure focusing on the breath, focusing on sounds, something like that, to listening to a very involved guided meditation, the flavor of the meditation doesn't matter. These principles still apply. So what I would invite you all to do is to start, if you're not meditating and you're fairly new and you're maybe a little resistant, or maybe you're a little excited, start with 5 minutes a day. Right when you wake up, you can download the app Insight Timer. It's got thousands of meditations on there. You can search 5 minutes. You can even have a length and it'll just pull up 5-minute meditations. Resist the urge to be sucked into your phone notifications and turn your phone on Do Not Disturb. And then just say, I'm just gonna do the best I can for these 5 minutes. If you do it right when you wake up, your brain is much more able to relax into meditation than if you're up, had your coffee, out and about, and then you try and relax the mind. It's harder. So upon awakening, 5 minutes, invite you to do that tomorrow, and just any kind of meditation you want. And with the Joe Dispenza meditations, we will get into that after that, but might as well go ahead and start now. All right, have a good day.